Welcome. My name is Tiafria Black. This is Monet Black, and we are here to talk about the Excellence Black Tie Gala. So that is happening November 18th. We all have some questions.
Let's meet the team.
Yeah. Hi, team.
Hello, hey, how you doing? How are you?
So good, so good. I am so excited to speak to you all about this event. I've never been, we've never been in general, but have heard so much about it. So from an audience perspective is what we want to focus on today for the people who may never have even known, or for the people who do know but have never attended, okay? So I'll just jump into the first question. So I know that some people are calling your event the biggest gathering in the Midwest and maybe even country. So could you tell me why they would be saying that?
I think it's, when they say that, I guess they're talking about an event of this type. Because this is an event, a highly produced event, African American driven. Obviously, it's for everybody. But I think the production and the dynamic, and it's black tie. You know, you're talking 4,000, well, last year we had 4,000 plus people, black tie. And if it's not the biggest, one of the biggest black tie events in the country. But I think when they say our event is one of the bigger ones, because it's not a party, it's more cultural, but just the layers of our event, the multiple people involved in it and the activities, I think that's what makes them think it's the biggest. And we think it is too. I mean, we think it's that. I think it's unique. I think it's unique. We try to do some research ourselves to try to figure out, is it something similar to this, or something like this? You know, there are bigger events. There are events with national artists. There are events in halls. There are events and things like that. But the complexity of our event, we think, is different than almost anything out there.
You know, I can actually attest to that. I've been to a lot of different events all over the country, and for me, being one of the creative directors and owners of Renaissance Couture, along with my business partner, Ida Carmichael, when we see an event like this, it has us stop in our tracks because we look for things that has multiple layers, that has culture, that has the people. And when you talk about having 4,500 or 5,000 people to be able to see our fashion, which is in alignment with what this event is about, it's a blessing. You know, it's a blessing to be a part of this. We look forward to it, and we're very thankful and grateful to be at an event as such as this and this type, because it's just phenomenal.
That gave me goosebumps.
Okay, so as a first-time attendee, what should I expect from this event?
It's hard to say, right? For me being part of it, but from talking to people, I'll go back to our first year that we did it at COSI, right? So if anybody knows COSI, it's the largest science museum in the country, probably in the world, right? So we're going to take an event and use the total footprint. So you walk in, COSI has a backdrop. You got culinary, you got casino, you got multiple bands, you've got authors, you've got comedy, and it's all over the place. And from the first year, the thing that I took from it was that the conversations from the people that attended saying, hey, I went, did you go? Yeah, I went, I never saw you there. You know, and that's just the magnitude of it. So you can be in the place for 3 or 4 hours and not even run into somebody you know, because there's entertainment in every room. And honestly, you may not even see all of the entertainment. So I would say, expect to have a good time, but don't be disappointed if you hear about something that you didn't make it to see. Because I mean, honestly, you probably can't see everything because it's so captivating. You'll spend time in one particular area for a decent amount of time, and on top of that, there's an after event. So there's 2 events really. There's Excellence Black Tie Gala, then there's an after party after that. So
I think the name says it all, excellence. That's what you can expect when you walk through the door. From the culinary professionals that we have on tap to the entertainment that we're going to provide. The entertainment is curated in such a manner that it can reach everyone's taste. We have bands, we have the best DJs in the city, we have anything that you want, comedians and poets. It's all going to be there.
You know, it's interesting to hear you say that because I think excellence is the epitome of it. Is the epitome of this, and the event is excellent, but the people that you bring are excellent, and I just believe that people are coming to expect that, and the more that continues to happen, I think the more this event continues to grow to be bigger than what it is, because it's not just about a party.
Right.
It is about the excellence of the arts, culinary, education, fashion, and all these things, which I don't know anybody, I mean, literally, and I've been all over. I don't know anybody that combines all of those things into the culture that you do. I mean, it's just awesome.
That's amazing. It's really cool to hear like all the different perspectives about what goes into this, and that leads me to wonder, like, having 35 bands or 35 restaurants and all these poets, what's the why? What's the purpose behind the Excellence Black Tie Gala?
I think like most things that get to a certain level, they evolve. And I think it's evolved in the sense that our roots are First Fridays, and we've been throwing events in this town since the 90s. And we've always supported, the creative arts, and because we've always created a platform for them. We've been great at getting quality people in spaces, moving people. And so people always come to us and say, hey, can we show this here? Can we be a part of this here? Because there are a lot of great people, great creatives out here who can't get the audience that we can get. And I think our purpose, we found a niche and a dynamic in our purpose, saying, why not share our ability to have a platform and use this platform to make it even a greater dynamic? So as we went through, especially in the last 5 years or so, we started saying, let's just take this to a whole nother level. Let's really provide a platform, the best platform that these creatives can get. So from the fashion, from the art, from the culinary, from the entertainment, we said, let's put them on the biggest stages they can get on. So, we've created, something I think that we're going through what I would call the most prestigious assets in Columbus, the Columbus Art Museum, COSI. I mean, those are the billion-dollar backdrops that we now we now are able to access and bring people in those stages. If you're an artist, you're in a museum of art, or you're in COSI. I mean, so I think it evolved, kind of a long answer shorter. It evolved, but I think now our platform is something that we relish to be able to bring more and more artists and get them more exposure and give them what they want and kind of feed the public to this great talent in town. So I think it's there. We love it, and we're getting more support from more people, and that's important because you're doing something right when people are coming in and say, I want to help you do this better, or do more of it. And we're seeing more and more of that from our civic leaders, from the corporations, from the public in general. People are coming to us on a daily basis, hey, we want to help support what you're doing. So we think that we have the right direction on this.
You mentioned the word exposure, and I said this before, the creative piece of it, or the platform, is awesome. But for me, from an exposure and a platform standpoint, it's beautiful that it's Columbus, Ohio, but there's going to be people here from all over the country. So to be able to do this and to have this platform that allows me to have exposure not only in Columbus, Ohio, but to other parts of the country is big. I mean, it's a game changer. It really is. Because through these events, I've had people that have contacted me from other California, Atlanta, all over the country because of the platform that's been provided, and I thank you, and I'm blessed by it.
I think for me, one thing I enjoy is seeing like the city celebrities come and then be able to take their hats off and just enjoy themselves and be who they are. So you have like the police chief, you have lawmakers, you have city councilmen, city councilwomen, things like that. The people like that come in and they're just dressed up in whatever it is that they want to be in, and they're having a good time and just enjoying themselves. And so I feel like that this event gives them the opportunity to be themselves and not just have to put on that hat as a politician or a lawmaker, but get out of the norm and actually just be comfortable.
People walk in with a different persona. I mean, they They proud of the outfit that they picked to wear that night. Women and men. I mean, they just happy about it. And they come in feeling good. You can see them at the door. I'm at the door normally. You can see them when they come in. They know they clean. They fixing themselves up at the door. You know, so it's like they know they look, and they walk around and people telling them, man, everybody telling each other, you look nice, you look nice. And they just feel good being there. And it's something that's nice that people like to do. They like enjoying that.
Knowing that it comes from First Fridays, that the whole group of First Fridays, knowing that this is something that they put on, like everybody has already been to a First Fridays event. So it's already expected that it's going to be excellent. And because of that, and that's the culture of First Fridays, it's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to support that. And I'm going back again and again because just like McDonald's, we know that it's a system. We know that fries is going to be a certain way. The Big Mac is going to be made a certain way. We know that when we go to this event, it's going to be this way.
That's
And
right.
we come and leave the same way we came. So,
And it's going to be
Consistency.
safe. And it's going to be safe. People going to feel safe. They gonna feel
That's just a quick segue. Safety. I've heard this from numerous parties at this point about the security that they feel in showing up to a caliber of an event like this. So, of an event of this caliber, why or how did you even establish that amount of security or safety for this event, or for all of your events? Sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you establish it. I think you create expectation. And like I said, we did a podcast like this earlier, and Hammer and I talked about it. But I think it's the expectation walking in the door. People understand that this is something different. I went to an event with one of our liquor sponsors, and they were like, "Hey, we can't do this in Cleveland. We can't do this in Cincinnati because when you get that many people in those towns, you're gonna have a security problem. You're gonna have an issue here." And so I think in Columbus, we've been able to, like she said, from our history, set an expectation and a precedent of if that's your mindset, then this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we'll have from city officials to anybody in town, any corporate leader, they'll come, they feel comfortable, because our events are pretty much, for sure, big events like Excellence coming up here, 2180. I mean, and they all come in with the same understanding of there's no negativity. It's a great time, especially in these times with all this stuff that's going on out here. It's a great, safe place for somebody to be and come in, and that's just it. You know, we don't go through all the different security things they have because it's the people we get. You know, like I said, when you choose right or you set an expectation or a dynamic, that carries through. So,
I think that's key because, I mean, I've known you for a long time, you know, and I've been going from the beginning, before I was even doing any of this. So yes, it's the caliber of people, but I think it's also the caliber of folks that have been involved in these events and doing this from the very beginning that have set that expectation and it's carried through from a consistency standpoint as well. So, I mean, I commend you for all that.
And it's the attitude of the securities at the door. Like they're not there standing like they're like, you know, if you don't, they don't have that tough look or that they're not talking to them nasty. It's like, hey man, you already know what's going on. You already know the expectation. Either you come in this way or we gotta let you go. And because of their presence and their demeanor, I feel like it makes it a safe environment.
So the tone was set from the very beginning.
Hey,
Gotcha.
you see us around, so you know if there's a problem, you can always come to us and say, you know, hey, there's a problem. But that very seldom happens.
All right, fine. I'm in. You sold me. I'm in.
I love the location. We actually visited the location today, COSI, and you spoke on this. And I want to know more about COSI. And I also noticed that right across the street is Junto, the hotel that the after party is going to be at. So tell me about COSI and Junto and how those two correlate.
Well, COSI. So I mean, I'll talk about going back to the color summer. Jeff said earlier. In the summer, we did color summer at the art museum. Right, we got art, fashion, food, fashion show. The first did it was big hit. So Jeff's always looking to elevate First Fridays, elevate for Columbus, elevate for the Midwest. CEO from COSI was at the museum. He said, man, this is great. Jeff being who he is said, I know we should do it there. And I would like to say the rest is history, but COSI, I mean, not only are we there with this venue with musicians, art, culinary, all of the exhibits are open. And see, for us and for Jeff, this is one thing, you know, he's always looking for. there's a percentage of our crowd that comes out to party, right? And some of them may not normally visit the art museum or normally visit COSI. This is a way to expose those places to people that may not go. I mean, you know, my kids are grown, so I mean, I took them to COSI when they were younger, but now I haven't been back, you know, since they were kids. But now we get to experience it as adults in a different way. So the exhibits are open, so that's your backdrop, and it's like, it's an amusement park for grown and sexy people. You know what I mean?
That's a great answer. After we went to COSI, we did walk over and see how close Junto was, and the beautiful establishment. So I'm wondering how that connection came about.
Yeah, no, that's it's funny, right? Because that actually is a brand new hotel opened a few months ago, and we've been doing this event here, you know, a couple of years. And we kept saying, when a new hotel opens up, you know, that'd be a great after party spot. But once it was actually built with the rooftop and dynamics of a upscale boutique hotel, and looking at that and understanding that we're going in for our after party, which will be at Gento, have the whole hotel. So we'll have from the rooftop, the main ballroom, down to the restaurants. The whole hotel will transform into our after party, and that's unique. Not many groups getting a whole boutique downtown hotel in a complete, like we're doing, buyout scenario. That doesn't happen normally. That's you know, we got some great partners and partner with COSI and partner with Gento on this. That's important. But I just see that being a fabulous evening of you. You're at COSI, you walk right across, you know, 20 yards, 30 yards across the walkway to the Gento. You can get rooms there if you want. We're going to have, you know, room linked, this kind of rooms there. And this is going to be, once again, and I try not to say stuff that is personal. I try to say stuff with the perspective of what everybody else is doing. But I think to be able to be in the #1 science museum, with all the activities we have going on that we didn't even mention half of them today, because, you know, we'd be here all night talking about all the things we have going on. But no, our purpose is to support and small businesses and the creatives there, but to have all that going in the community, to have the community have somewhere to go where they can network with each other and bond and feel a sense of pride, get dressed up in black tie and feel your best and walk through there and be like, hey, there's nobody better than me. If you don't get that self-pride and get that diamond on your shoulder, then that makes your day go better. But to take all that happens at COSI and all the great people I work with and there, and then they walk right across the street to the hottest brand new boutique hotel in the city or the state right now, and to have them welcome us which I give them great credit for welcoming us with no problem, and coming in there and being able to control the whole hotel environment. I mean, that whole experience doesn't happen. I mean, and I think that when we do our events, you know, we want to be the best, we want to be recognized as the best, but I think at times it's hard to compare us to other situations, because, and I've been around in Kevin and all these guys say I've been around the country, we all seen places, but no one does at this level, like this dynamic that we've seen. And I think we're not, it's not bragging, we just want to be able to let people understand. So if you're seeing this interview and you're seeing it and you're in Chicago and you're in Detroit or you're even in Columbus and you kind of heard about it but didn't see it, we want to give you, I mean, it's something that's on a national level by far, and you should be here and look at it and check it out. And I'm not going to get into the pricing, because when we actually charge for what we give, I mean, if we had to really do a real cost comparison, I mean, it's ridiculous. And literally it's ridiculous. So I won't get into the pricing of it all, but we just try to offer something that the city can be proud of. People can come into the region and make this, you know, a national event. Like I said, right now we get people coming from all over, but we really want to make it where you look at it and you feel quite comfortable coming and spending your dollars in Columbus, Ohio on those weekends, because we think it's well worth it. I mean,
You know, so I agree 100%, you know, about what this event does for people like me who have a business, or others, or the city and the community. But, you know, from my perspective, you don't just get a hotel by accident. That's consistency over time. That's character, integrity. That's being able to have high quality events at the Art Museum, at COSI, and every other place that they are. That's how that happens, because in my opinion, this hotel wouldn't be opening up their arms unless they secure in their mind about what's being delivered and what can be delivered.
That's not normal. I mean,
that's not.
We can speak to the unspoken, but for African American community to take over a whole brand new boutique hotel and bring the people in there,
You know,
your reputation has to precede you
That's right.
in a major way to be able for them
That's
to
right.
say, open their doors to you in that manner.
That's right.
And that speaks a lot, and we appreciate that, because it's with our partnerships and people who speak to us and our references that they talk to before they talk to us and get it done. I want the public to realize that when you get those kind of things done, it's also our duty to do it and do it right. From our perspective, from our attendees' perspective, and everybody's perspective, to come in there and respect what's happening here and make sure we stay on that level. You know, when you get on a certain level, you got to earn it to get there, but then you need to stay there because you do the right thing to stay there. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to say, COSI, was the art museum, wherever it is, there's no higher level for us to go to. We're there. Our job is to stay there and enhance our situations there, so that when someone says, hey, I'm coming to our event, or coming to Columbus, there's no better asset. I don't care if I had $1 billion, where else could I go with $1 billion more in Columbus? If I had $1 billion to do an event, I couldn't go better than COSI and go to the Gento if I said I had $1 billion. You know, there's no other venue or dynamic we can go to and say, well, no, go over here. No, we are there. Wherever over here is, that's where we're at. And I think the message that we want to kind of leave in these kind of conversations is, if you come to our events, you know, and we continue to evolve. And this year, we're even doing more. This year, we're adding a fashion show to Excellence. We're taking the comedy to a whole nother level. We're doing a few things that's quite different than we did last year. But also, if you haven't come, you know, people always say you got to see it to understand it, and that's probably true, but we really want you to think about, if you're in Chicago, DC, LA, this is worth a weekend. You know, we're going to do, the main event is obviously Saturday, November 18th. We're having a pre-party at the Forum downtown Columbus on the 17th, and then the after party. But that whole weekend is really worth people coming and seeing what's happening. We got tickets on sale now. The tickets are pretty simple. It's on Eventbrite at Excellence Black Tie Gala 2023.eventbrite.com. And so we really, if you see this, if you're out of town, if you're in town, ship this to your friends and let them know, because what we want to do is continue to make this one of the premier events in the country. And let you really know. We don't want to be a hidden secret. People say it's a hidden secret. I don't want to be a hidden secret.
Right.
I want to be a
Right.
known commodity.
That's right.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be a hidden secret. I don't know what that's
Bring
for.
them out. Bring them out.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, you know,
Yeah.
like I said, the group here, it's an amazing group of people we continue to work with. We add more people to our group and dynamic. But, you know, we're going to be here the 18th of November, and we really want to make sure that people get our message and get our understanding of what we're looking to do here in Columbus for the city and for everybody involved.
I heard 3 call outs that I have to mention in all of that. I hope I remembered them all. The one is that stands out the most is the responsibility. You got here, you've arrived to a certain caliber, but you still feel the responsibility to uphold and enhance. That is huge. And I want to tell you that as someone who might just be an attendee of some shows or some events, hearing this has now taken the word party out of my mind. It's taken the word gathering out of my mind. And this is just, it's a movement. It really is. So if you are listening and tuning in from wherever you are, if that doesn't let you buy into Black excellence alone, I mean, I don't know what will. And then the third thing that stuck out to me was the price, like the comparison. He's saying, forget what I'm charging you. Let's talk about what I put into the event. So that right there, it piques my interest as to hearing about this now, hearing about the caliber. What does planning, and a short synopsis, what does that even look like for this high caliber of an event?
I will say that if we just talk about the entertainment that we're going to provide, this is just going to give you a quick example. Jeff and I will talk literally an hour, 2 hours at a time over a course of a week to just curate the artists that we're going to have perform. That's just one little small phase of it, and Carlton probably can go into what it takes for the culinary side of things.
Yeah, so the culinary piece, it's about the food. I mean, it's about everything, right? But the food is a major backdrop. So when we say we've got culinary, and we've got upwards of 12 to 15 different culinary specialists, chefs, restaurateurs, food truck owners, caterers. Wow. And the food is included in your ticket price. So it's not like you come in and you have to pay additional for the food. It's included with the price of the ticket. We do this at Color Summer also, and for me, it's pretty much a year-round thing. You know, making sure we got the right people, making sure we understand what their menu is, making sure the presentation is right. So it's ongoing. And then as we get closer to the event, obviously it's crunch time and we got to get things done.
That's a very good point. The planning of these events never stops. It's a continuation, continually planning these events.
As long as you have your number.
So being a participant, so being not just a participant that's going, but being a participant that's going to be part of the fashion show. What you know, I called you over a month ago. So this event is a high caliber event. There's going to be people from all over at this event. So I need to bring it, right? I mean, my clothes, they bring it, but I need to bring it. And I've been preparing since before September of what I want to do, how I want to do it, getting with the models that I want to have, having some models do another fashion show to have more to be ready for this event. So, you know, I've been planning for this event for months, and we still have a little over a month to go. But it's not just about what I'm bringing. I need to make sure that I'm representing at the caliber and the level that this event represents as well, because I'm honored and blessed to be a part of it, and I need to make sure that I'm doing my part because I know they're doing theirs.
We already had a walkthrough in June. He called us down. And said, "We got a walkthrough." I said, "Well, for what?" He said, "For COSI." I said, "Oh, that's somewhere we started. We started early. We made sure we walked through with that whole place and had everything how we wanted."
I mean, the reality is, it really starts the next day after this is over.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the next day we're thinking, okay, what's our pluses? What's our minuses?
Absolutely.
What can we do better next year? You know, what was our shortcomings? So it's like Dwayne said, it's all year. It's all year.
That's coming from what? 4 personnel? There's so many moving parts. So my head spins at counting it all.
You know, to kind of sum that question up, if we had to really think about the math behind the amount of hours people spend on this, it would be mind-boggling. Because this is not just an effort from my team; they expand out. You know, it expands out, and everyone is working. I mean, they'll do a fashion show, they'll have model calls, and the fashion production people will do it, the artists. I mean, COSI has their whole marketing team working on this. They're doing their production team working on this. I mean, there is thousand hours to come together to bring this happening. So I mean, that's that's the job we signed up for, and we understand it. So that's okay, because I think it's a labor of love for a lot of us. Because I don't pay anybody here what they bring to me. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause if people got paid what they were worth, then it wouldn't work. Because then the ticket would be 10,000 a person. You know what I'm saying? But people see a good, they see a positive in the community, they see something that's worth something, and they go after it with passion. Like I said, you normally win from someone wanting to be there and passion. You don't win because you paid them too much. You can't pay them enough. If people's time worth more than you can ever pay, because they're gonna be where they want to be at. So it becomes, that's where we've been fortunate. So not this is about marketing or about this, but you asked that question. I think the magic that we've done with this is people are willing to buy into what we're doing here and be a part of it because they see the greater good of it, and that's what makes it happen. Like I said, 'cause people working right now somewhere on this event, not even here. They're working somewhere right now doing something about it to get it right, and we love that piece. I mean, so that's, it feels good to do it. I've been doing this a long time. I said in the '90s started this stuff, and we're good. We've been doing it for a while, but we do it because we love it.